Next I have Sex Criminals Volume 1 by Matt Fraction. This is about a woman who discovers every time she has a sexual release that time stops, and then she meets this guy and together they decide to rob banks. That is all I know about this one. It sounds hilarious and I am looking forward to it. And this is the last Amazon box. I have Undead and Unwelcome and Undead Unfinished, book 8 and 9 in the Betsy Taylor series. This series is about a girl named Betsy who is one day attacked by what she thinks is a crazy person. It turns out to be some sort of weird vampire. Then she dies in a car crash and she comes back as a vampire queen. This series is hilarious and snarky, and I guess you could call it my guilty pleasure read. Next I have Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins. This is the first book in the Sweet Evil trilogy. At least I think it's a trilogy. I think it's now considered a series because I think book 4 just came out. This is about a girl named Anna who finds out that she is the daughter of a demon, although it is a secret to who her father actually is. And the children of the demons in this story, like say your father is the demon of adultery, you have to seduce and sleep with married people. Some of them don't like it, some of them do. So everyone seems to really like this series, and so I am looking forward to it. Next I have 8,000 Nights by E.K. Johnson. And this is the first book in its trilogy, I believe. And there are stars on the actual book. It's beautiful and it feels great. And this is a retelling of 8,000 Arabian Nights, kind of like The Wrath on the Dawn. Although I'm told this one takes a little bit of a darker turn on the story. And I've loved that story since I was a kid, so I am looking forward to reading this one as well. Although in this one you don't know the main character's name, I'm told, until the very end of the book. So I'm wondering what everyone calls her throughout this book. Okay, before I show you this book, I want to tell you that it is more beautiful in person than when I saw it online. I knew it would be fantastic looking, but it is more beautiful than I imagined it would be. It is the sequel to Trial by Fire, and that is Firewalker. So as you can see, there has been a cover change, but I'm not mad at it. While this cover is nice and is okay, I really love this one. Next I have Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This book is getting so much hype on BookTube that just the fact that it's told in a different format makes me want to read it. And it is told from documents and emails and text message and confidential files, and almost everything is redacted, so it is definitely a different way of telling the story, and this is what it looks like. So this is pretty much what the inside of the book looks like. Certain things are redacted, so I guess you kind of have to guess what they're trying to say, and other things are... Oh, and it's also told from a few website pages. That's awesome. And so I am so looking forward to this one. This is a sci-fi, and from what I understand, it is about this planet that gets attacked by this organization, I want to say, because the planet has something that they need. But while the people flee in their spaceships, and it is told from 2 different points of view, I believe, which is a girl and her boyfriend who have just recently broken up and are in 2 different ships, and this ship that attacked their planet is also coming after them, so that people won't find out that they attacked. And so I am so looking forward to this. I'm going to read this one really soon. And finally, it is my last box, and it is my actual Black Friday book outlet order. The first book in this box is the book that everyone has been raving about for a few years now. While aliens aren't my thing, I decided I will finally give it a try. And this book was already incredibly cheap on Book Outlet, and with their 30% off, it was even cheaper. Plus, I had a $5 coupon that they sent me for sharing their page, and that is Lux, The Beginning. This contains obsidian and onyx, and this is about a book blogger, which I can so relate, who meets an alien, and I'm told Damien's kind of snarky and kind of a butthole, and I am looking pretty forward to this, but probably won't be at the top of my list for quite some time. Then I have Spellcaster by Claudia Gray, and this is about a girl who's a witch who moves into a new town, and she can sense that something isn't quite right in that town. And I believe she meets a boy whose family died in an accident, which the town calls his family's curse, and it takes off from there, I imagine. Then I have Dream a Little Dream by Kirsten Gear. I read her first book in her Ruby trilogy, and it was okay. I think it just wasn't my thing because it was sci-fi, but this looks more to be magical realism, and it is about a girl who has these dreams where two boys in her school in are are in her dream, and then they talk to her one day, and they mention something that only she knows about because she dreamed it, and she slowly starts to realize that these boys are actually in her dreams. Then I have Dangerous Creatures by Kami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. This is the first book in the Dangerous Creatures series, and it is a spin-off from the Beautiful Creatures series, which I loved, so I am looking forward to this one. And this one is about two main side characters, I guess you could say. It's Lena Duquesne's cousin Ridley and Ethan's best friend Link. Then I have Shade by Jerry Smith Reddy, and I love the redo of the covers. The first one wasn't so great, so I am liking the remade covers. This is about a world where something called the Shift happens, although I don't know what the Shift is exactly. And anyone born after the Shift can see ghosts, and then this girl's boyfriend dies and she starts seeing his ghost. So that must put some strain on their relationship. Then I have Teeth, the Vampire Tales, and this is from a whole bunch of different authors, from Cassandra Clare, Holly Black, Neil Gaiman, Marissa Meyer, and more. So I bind up a whole different vampire books from authors that I really like and some authors I've been meaning to try. Next I have Unspoken by Sarah Brennan, and this is about a girl named Cami who all her life has had this voice inside of her head, and she always thought of it as an imaginary friend or some sort of different personality inside her head, only for the boy that's inside her head to show up one day and everyone in the town starts whispering about them, because apparently their family has not been back since some sort of murder happened, and now that they've not only returned but moved into the new house, and Cami is determined to find out why he has been in her head all her life and never told her that he is real. Next I have Uninvited by Miranda Moron. This book originally retails for $14 and it is barely 200 pages. I've never actually seen it in person, so I always thought that it must be a huge paperback, and I'm so glad I waited until I found it on Book Outlet, because I would have been so mad if I had paid $14 for this. So, but this is about a girl named Jordan whose life has just gone down the tubes. Her boyfriend broke up with her, then started sleeping with every girl in sight, and then he commits suicide. But 2 days after his funeral, he starts coming to her window at night begging for her to let him in. And she's starting to want to let him in. This didn't have great ratings on Goodreads. I think it was like a 2.91. But I've wanted to read this for such a long time that I decided just to pick it up and see what I thought myself. Next I have The Fairy Ring by Kiki Hamilton. This is set in 1879. It is about a girl who is a pickpocket who ends up stealing this fairy ring that was given to Queen Victoria as kind of a peace offering between the human world and the fairy world. And when this ring goes missing, the fairies, I think, start attacking. So I am looking forward to this one pretty well. I probably won't get to it anytime soon, but I am looking forward to it. Next I have The 9 Lives of Chloe King by Liza Broswell, and this is the bind up of all the books. And like I said, I do like this cover a whole lot more than the original ones. This is about a girl named Chloe who finds out that she is a Mai, like ancient Egypt. So this is pretty much ancient Egypt mythology. Mai's are part cat. Mai are the name of the cats that the Egyptians would worship. So they have cat-like abilities, and Chloe is what's known as the Uniter, and all Mai have 1 life except for Chloe. She has 9 lives, and in using those 9 lives, she's supposed to bring the Mai and the humans together peacefully. And this society called the Order is trying to kill Chloe before she can do that. I did really enjoy the TV show. Unfortunately, it does not come on anymore, so I am looking forward to continuing with the story and seeing how the story ends. Then I have The Book of Ivy by Amy Engel, and this is about a girl named Ivy. This is a dystopian world where there was this huge war, and so there aren't very many people left, and there are these 2 families. One family wants democracy and the other one wants a different type of political society, and so neither family can agree. They go to war. There are the Westfalls and the Latimer, and the Westfalls lost, and so the way that they keep peace among each other now is that the Westfall girls marry the Latimer boys, and now it is Ivy's turn to marry, and she is to marry Bishop, the head of the Latimer's family's son. But Ivy has been trained her whole life to kill Bishop. and everyone seems to really love this book, and I know the sequel just came out, so I am looking forward to getting into this one. Next I have Unleashed by Christopher Ritz. This is about a boy named Daniel who is an outcast, and then he starts hanging out with this other group of outcasts, and together they show him that he can somehow let go of all his pain at night and turn into werewolves. So that sounded pretty interesting, so I picked this one up. Next I have Etiquette and Espionage by Gail Character. This is the first book in the Finishing School series. This is about a girl named Safrina who's gotten on her mother's last nerve, and so her mother decides since she can't be ladylike on her own, she's going to send her to finishing school to learn to be ladylike. But once Safrina gets to this school, she finds out it's not your average finishing school. Not only will she be learning to curtsy and learn how to dress properly and talk properly, but she'll be learning how to throw a knife properly and snap someone's neck without making a sound. So in this school, it is not only a finishing school for young ladies, it is a finishing school for assassins. And I believe this is a steampunk novel, and I think this is like the prequel to one of her other series, so if I like this one enough, I may pick up the other one too. Next I have Forbidden by Kimberly Little. This is... have you ever seen that show Red Tents? I believe this is kind of following that story, although I'm not sure if it's following this specific story or just a story in this world. But this is about a girl who is betrothed to someone, but of course she refuses to marry him and she runs away, and then she ends up meeting this prince that she falls in love with, but he ends up getting taken captive. And that's really all I could figure out from the summary of this story. And so she is also, once she figures out he's captured, she decides to go on a rescue mission and try and save him, even though their love is forbidden. So this one sounded pretty good, and I like the Red Tents TV show, so I am looking forward to reading this one. Well, that is the end of my Black Friday book haul, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!